Coming up today on the Dawnversations podcast.
You don't have Casey Kasem going in, And this goes out to Dawn, who loves her boyfriend, Stuart, from Kansas City. Remember that?
Dawnversations with Anthony. Real talk, good vibes and positivity. Big laughs, deep thoughts, and life's explorations, bringing you joy through conversations.
Welcome to another episode of Dawnversations with Anthony. Hi, Anthony.
Hi, Dawn. Good to be here.
Good to have you here. Today is going to be so fun. And it was another tough one, like our episode about the 5 guests. We are going to talk about our top 5 concerts because we both love music a ton. We've gone on side conversations a lot of times about different concerts that we've gone to. But it's not all about love. We are also going to talk about 5 songs we hate.
Yeah, gosh.
Was that part easy for you?
Yeah, I mean, I had first 2 or 3 came to mind, and then I had to think about it, and then I had 10. And then I had to cut it down. My joke was I was immediately going to say, hey, everything from Michael Jackson, because Dawn loves Michael Jackson, right? Just to play right into your desk.
It's crazy when people, like the reaction you get when people don't like your music that you like. It's like, you're so defensive. And what do you mean? How could you not like it? But I hope I don't lose followers or subscribers over this because
How dare you hate the Beach Boys? We're never talking to you again.
Okay, so we're going to do 5 to 1, one being our most favorite concert. But I went first last time, so we'll let you go first this time. What was your number 5 favorite?
Okay. And this was the hardest one. The songs weren't that tough, but concerts I felt were tough. And because there's so many variables that come with a concert. Were my seats good? Is the venue good? Do I love the people I was with? Did I pregame beforehand? Right? I mean, like all of those things make up a concert. And if you went to concerts in your teens and 20s, you probably had a totally different experience than going to a concert in your late 40s and 50s, right? So
that's true. I have a question before you do that.
Yeah.
Was there anybody, and you don't have to tell the experience yet if it's one of your answers, but was there anybody that you saw in your 20s that you saw at your age now or a little bit like in your 40s? Did the same? Yes. Did you feel like the experience was different?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So my first one, and this is crazy because people that know me don't know this, but my first one is Iron Maiden.
Oh.
Yeah. And I have seen Iron Maiden 9 times, which if you met Anthony Damasceno on the street, you would never think that I would go to an Iron Maiden concert.
Would you wear your shirt?
Would I wear this?
Oh.
For those of you just listening, I'm holding up an Iron Maiden concert t-shirt that I almost wore today, but I wanted to be a little more classy.
Keeping it Bobby Brady.
I'm wearing my Bobby Brady shirt today. I should be more slimming and wear dark, like that. But
yeah. Oh gosh, that's
okay.
Funny.
So Joel Christ in high school took me to Iron Maiden with a bunch of other guys, and who knows what we did before said concert. But it was my first big outdoor rock metal pounding drums, testosterone-filled concert, right? Pre-game in the parking lot, going to the concert, all day outdoors. So Iron Maiden clocks as number 5, best concert because I was young and it was fun and I just will never forget it. So hashtag Joel Christ, thank you very much.
Can you give me one song of theirs? I don't know heavy metal.
Yeah, the song you would know like Run to the Hills. Or Number of the Beast is one,
maybe if I heard it.
You would know.
Maybe
if you heard it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of editing to do with this one. You're going to have to play every song we mentioned. But yeah. It's Iron Maiden.
Okay.
Dawn, give me number 5.
Okay. I know you went to the same concert because we already talked about it, but it was Hall & Oates and Train.
Yes.
I looked forward to seeing Hall & Oates so much, and Train too. I like Train, but they were, like
Wait, Dawn. Is this best concerts or worst concerts?
Oh, this is best. This is my
Okay,
5. This is my
best.
5.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't been to a lot. I've seen some of the same artists a lot of times,
Yeah.
but I haven't been
Yeah.
to a lot of different artists. They don't always come to Omaha, Nebraska. But anyway, I loved the concert for Train, which I thought I was going to love it for Hall & Oates. But although I do love Hall & Oates music, I seriously could listen to their albums on repeat. I love all of their songs.
Yeah.
They did a decent job, but Train was much more entertaining. It was fun. There were beach balls in the audience, and it was a fun environment. So that is my number 5.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I don't have Train on my list, but I've seen Train more than any other band.
Was that the concert that you liked the least? Is that why you asked me that?
I liked Hall & Oates the least. And another thing we should have preambled is expectations, right? So if you go see a Train concert and you don't have a lot of expectations, I guarantee you'll walk out of there blown away.
Yes.
But Hall & Oates was the soundtrack of the 80s or whatever we had kind of done.
Right.
And so I wanted them to go out there and greatest hits me, and I'm going to sing along to all 23 of the songs that they're going to play or whatever. And that didn't happen for me. Right.
Right.
So I was disappointed. I was so disappointed in Hall & Oates because I wanted to love it so bad.
That's how I felt too. But again, I still loved the experience.
Yeah.
And
Train's great.
Yes.
Train is great.
Okay. All right. Number 4 for you.
Number 4. Okay. So it's funny because when I think about greatest concerts, I keep going back to my childhood. But I, it was 7th and 8th grade. I got Highway to Hell, and then I got Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, and then I got, I went through the ACDC catalog, and Bon Scott died, and Brian Johnson took over, and Back in Black came out, and so I was a big ACDC guy, but it took me another 10 years to go see ACDC or see them in concert. So it was ACDC on the Who Made Who tour, which was luckily a greatest hits tour. There was a movie, Maximum Overdrive, starring Emilio Estevez. It's a Stephen King book.
Okay.
But they did the soundtrack for it. ACDC did a tour supporting that soundtrack, and it was greatest hits, which was great. So it was my first time seeing ACDC. Again, the anticipation of 10 years or so of just loving this band and then seeing them for the first time. It may not have been the best concert, Dawn.
Yeah.
But it just filled that thing that I needed to go see. You know?
No, I do know. And it's so dumb, but you feel like they're singing it for you. Because it's like, I've supported you. I've listened to you in my car. I listen to you all the time. I know that this is a concert just for me.
Yeah.
It feels that way. Like your music is just the best. It is the best ever. Okay. So my number 4 is Bon Jovi. I've seen Bon Jovi a couple times. Great concerts. They do a great job of entertaining. It was in the bitter cold. My sister and I went freezing cold, and we had to park super far away, but it was like you didn't even care because you were going to see. I mean,
so was it outdoors? Was it outdoors?
No. It was just and I remember in the middle of the concert, they did Bad Medicine, and everybody was standing and everybody was just singing it. And it was just like that feeling that, the first, when you hear those first notes, and it was just like,
they have multiple songs like that too, right?
Yes.
I mean, Dead or Alive, and, I've never seen Bon Jovi. Obviously, he's not bad to look at if you're into Bon Jovi. So there's that. And incredible, right? I've never seen him. They're on my list.
Yeah.
I've never met anyone who didn't enjoy seeing them. Went to a bad Bon Jovi concert.
Right.
It doesn't exist.
No, they're great performers, great entertainers. Okay, your turn.
Okay, number 3. So I'm into the Killers. I really love the Killers.
Yes,
Mr.
they're great.
Brightside, you guys, or Are We Human? Or there's a million songs out there. I love the Killers. And I got into the Killers, luckily, after their first album. And I went to the Warfield in San Francisco, which only has its 2,000 people venue, and it didn't sell out. And I went on the floor. So, Dawn, as close as you are to your monitor right now, I was front stage on the floor, standing, and the Killers played. At the time, they had 2 albums. They played both albums in entirety
Oh, wow.
for me,
Just-
basically, to your
It was
point.
your birthday.
So I've seen the Killers maybe 5 times since then, but nothing will ever top the intimacy and the
Yeah.
closeness and how I was just blown away by this band.
Yeah,
right?
their music. Are they still making music?
They are, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because their music was great.
And now the ticket to a Killers concert in Sacramento in 2 months is $238 for the cheapest seat, right?
Jeez.
It's just ridiculous. It's pricing fans out of this. I'm not going to pay $500 for Karen and I to go see the Killers. I would do it for $99.
Yeah.
But $500, it's ridiculous.
So
Sorry.
are most of the concerts that you've seen outside since you're in the warm weather?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there are a few in the middle, usually like some big production bands that have a lot of effects go inside, like the Scorpions would go inside. A few others on my list would go inside. But yeah, I'm seeing like the next concert I'm going to, which is Bottle Rock. It's Green Day. It's Justin Timberlake. And
funny.
Noah something who I don't know. Noah something who's very famous right now, and I'm embarrassed. I don't know, but those are the 3 headliners.
You'll probably know their songs.
By then, we'll see.
Yeah.
And that will be outdoors, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because if in Omaha, there's just the one venue, it's inside. But if you want to go to an outdoor concert, you can go to Kansas City, which is just like a 2.5-hour drive. And they have some, or they used to have Sandstone. I don't know what they have now. I haven't been to a concert in Kansas City in forever. But anyway, that's cool to get to see them outside. That's a whole different experience.
It is. Train is better outside, I think, than inside too. There's like festival bands that are better outside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dawn, number 3.
Number 3, and we haven't talked about this, so I don't know if you've ever seen Paul McCartney.
Oh gosh, that's another one I've never seen.
Yeah, that was great. And it was a gift from my parents to me and my sister. And my parents always loved the Beatles. We grew up on the
Wings?
Beatles.
With Wings or
Both.
just Paul McCartney?
No, it was just Paul McCartney.
Wow. But he played
I
Wings
think.
stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He did all. But what he did that I've never had at any other concert is he told stories in between. So it made it seem so intimate. Like he told this story, I'll keep this really quick, but he told this story about how when they were first starting out, him and John Lennon were window shopping for guitars, just walking along the streets of London, and they're looking inside this music store and looking at guitars that they hoped that they could afford someday. And up pulls a cab, and Mick Jagger and Keith Richards were in the cab. And they're like, you guys need a lift? And they got in the cab. I'm like, this sounds like a joke. Like Keith Richards, Mick Jagger, you know? And I was just like, this is the weirdest thing ever to have somebody that is so famous, so talented, talking about riding in a cab with the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
And just like, it's normal, you know, just like, that's just what we do on a regular weekend.
I love that you brought that up because I just recently, I saw Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan, same show. Willie Nelson talks to the crowd, tells stories, thanks people for being there. Bob Dylan, not a peep, nothing. Thank you, good night was the only thing he said to the crowd.
Wow.
And so when I go to that concert, I don't care who it is, John Cougar Mellencamp, who talks to the crowd or whatever. If you talk to the crowd, you feel like they're in it, they're enjoying it, they're excited you came. You know, they have that conversation with you. You feel connected to them. Bob Dylan felt like he just came, picked up his check and left because there was no interaction with the crowd.
That's too bad.
I think your Paul McCartney experience can change a concert from being good to admit. Now, Paul McCartney's amazing, but I think when they talk with the crowd, thank you for being here, everyone. I love this. Let me tell you about my
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
it was amazing. Like
That's
that's what I
amazing.
remembered. The music was great, but and just that you're seeing Paul McCartney, but it was those stories. He had a story about Blackbird that I never knew the origin of Blackbird, and
Yeah.
it was just phenomenal. So
We
it
should
didn't
get
make.
him on our podcast.
Oh, I'm
that'd
sure
be
he'll
pretty
come
good.
on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Hashtag Paul
Sir
McCartney.
Paul.
Sir Paul.
Okay, your turn.
Okay.
Two.
Number two, this is another one of the Anthony waited for years to see this band. It's Pink Floyd. So I was a big I went through my Pink Floyd stage in high school. You know, I liked rock and then I liked my Pink Floyd. But anyway, Pink Floyd with David Gilmour, Momentary Lapse of Reason, fought with Roger Waters. They split up, but Gilmour sued, got the name for Pink Floyd, and toured with the other two Pink Floyd original artists, whose names I'm forgetting right now, Nick Wright and the other person. Anyway, and they did a Momentary Lapse of Reason tour. It was amazing. Dawn, it was indoors, and they inflate like the pig, and they had beautiful kind of pyrotechnics and all the screen kind of dreamy video stuff. It was an amazing concert. I spent the night, my parents let me in high school spend the night outside of Tower Records because they were going on sale at 10 a.m. and you used to have to wait in line, people.
Yes, yes.
And you'd bring cash and you'd wait outside, and then you'd go in and they'd print out the tickets right in front of you. The big printing machine would make that noise, and they'd hand you your physical ticket.
Yeah, and I think that's like what you were saying about the experience, like to have to wait like that.
Yes.
And it's like you earned it. Like,
Yes.
I worked for this. I'm doing this because I love this music so much. Yeah, you're right. It was a totally different time back then, and now it's just Ticketmaster or whatever, and you just get on your computer and no big deal, and you can pick and whatever. Yeah, you earned those tickets, and that was even for movies too. You know, big time movie releases, Star Wars and all that stuff.
Wait, Jurassic Park. My brother and I got out of high school and waited in line. The only time we've ever done that. We waited in line together to see Jurassic Park, right? I mean,
I never saw that.
So funny, you know?
That's funny.
Anyway. Okay, Dawn, number two.
Number two is Janet Jackson.
Oh, God.
I didn't get to see her brother. I think he came to Omaha, but I do not remember. But I did not go see him. I would have. And I got to see Janet Jackson. And that was another one where it was just like, when you're going to see somebody that's close to your age, you literally grew up with that person. And I watched her on Different Strokes, and she had all these acting things, and she was just so cool. And then her
talk about a performer, talk about dancing and singing all night, right?
Yeah. She did every song, and she is stunningly beautiful. She's super talented, and it's just cool, like the family that she came from. It's just an amazing thing to get to be that close to somebody that's that famous. But yeah, great concert. Loved all the songs.
No wardrobe malfunctions at the concert?
None that I saw.
Justin Timberlake didn't rip anything off of her?
He was not there. This was prior to. Yeah, no. I think that's funny. You're going to see Justin Timberlake, though. I'm anxious to hear how he does.
Yeah. The older Justin Timberlake, I guess, now. You know, not boy band Justin Timberlake anymore. I have heard Janet Jackson's amazing in concert, both dancing and singing, and just a show, right?
Yeah. Just entertainers. Okay.
Here we are.
Number
one.
Drum roll.
This is really tough. Before I do this, I wanted to throw out some honorable mentions, right? Honorable mentions. Metallica, U2, Billy Idol, Alabama, Muse, Killers, Keane, and Bee Gees Gold, which is a Bee Gees tribute band. I loved all of those. I'm a huge Madonna fan. Not my favorite concert, but I'm a huge Madonna fan. And a quick side story, Dawn, when I go to concerts, I go to the ticket booth and I ask for them to upgrade me every single time. And I would say 1 in 4 times they upgrade me.
So what does that mean? Like they have empty
tickets
seats?
in the Boondocks, third row, third tier, third story. And I say, hey, I'm a big fan of Madonna. I love her. I've wanted to see her my whole life. Is there anything you could do for me? Do you have any tickets closer? Can you help me out? 1 in 4 times I get upgraded. So
Wow.
I went to Madonna in Sacramento. I had crummy seats kind of behind the stage. They upgraded me to the floor.
Oh, wow.
It was incredible. It's not my favorite concert, but anyway, I just want to say Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Madonna, I've been upgraded for all three of those with my kids, which is amazing. So don't be shy, people, if you're listening. Pro tip, ask for an upgrade, see if they can get you closer. A lot of times they have tickets that haven't been sold and they want to fill those out and they'll do it for free.
Wow. That's
Isn't
interesting.
that cool?
Very
Yeah.
cool. Good pro tip.
Okay, I kind of mentioned this. I think we squeaked over into this on the last episode, but it is Jeff Lynne and ELO
Oh, I was listening to them today.
at the Hollywood Bowl, which I had never been to. It's iconic. You know, I've
Okay.
heard about it. And I went and, you know, a lot of times groups break up and you think you're never going to see them. And then they get back together or do a farewell tour or something like that. And that's what happened here. ELO was, you know, for 15 years when I loved them, they weren't together. You know, it was just, they just never sang. He came to Hollywood Bowl. I cried. I cried several times. Karen looks at me and I am crying during an ELO song. So I still do. I love them so much and I love their music and the opportunity to see him as the sun's going down in Hollywood Bowl after wanting to see him for 15 years.
Yeah.
It just made me emotional.
What's your favorite song by them?
Oh gosh, that's hard. I mean, Mr. Blue Sky's kind of overplayed all the time. Telephone Line, I think, is a funny song.
That's a great one.
It reminds me of being in like 6th and 7th grade, right? You
Yeah.
know, like,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, there's just so many like that, right?
There's good ones. I literally was listening to them today while I was cleaning the house. So there are so many good ones. And they are kind of like when Queen did, which I would love to have seen Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody. You know, such an odd, like
Yes.
almost theatrical or something you would see at a musical or something.
Yeah.
Their music was like that. It was just totally, or Meatloaf. Meatloaf was like that too.
They have an orchestra in them.
Yeah,
right? So
right.
most rock groups don't have an orchestra. Just like
Yeah.
ACDC has a few songs with bagpipes, right? There's no rock group that has bagpipes in their songs. But
Yeah.
it's funny when bands do that. ELO does that a lot. And Queen did that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I could have seen Queen when Freddie
Yeah.
Mercury was still alive.
That's a whole nother episode. The things we wish we could have.
I
seen,
know.
we
I'm
that
wondering if
one.
we're going to be able to squeeze in the songs we hate. Okay. So my number one,
Here we go.
without a doubt, I would go a million times, no matter what the price. Prince
Oh, God.
was amazing.
Ah,
So amazing. Talk about a performer. And he had the background guys dancing and he had, you know, the band behind him and everything. But the best part of the entire thing was he came out with a bar stool and an acoustic guitar and started just a cappella Little Red Corvette.
oh,
And the
gosh.
lights all went red and everybody was just singing Little Red Oh
Oh,
my God, it still gives me goosebumps. It was
I'm
the
so
best.
jealous. I'm so jealous because
It
this
was
is
the
one I can never, right? It's one of those, it's over, it's done. You can't see him,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
saw something I could never, I'd love to because he's like great wine. He's gotten better with time, right?
Right.
And I
Yeah.
loved Purple Rain. I hate to say it. My best friend at the time played Purple Rain every day on the way to high school, nonstop in that car, going and coming. I
Yeah.
love that album. Prince is amazing. He was
Yeah.
amazing.
It was such an awesome
Oh,
experience. Yeah. I get goosebumps whenever I think about that. Just
oh, Don, wait, quick Prince story. I have a friend who went and saw Prince in Oakland. They had signs everywhere, no cameras, no phones, don't take your phones out. She took her phone out and took a picture. Security got her, kicked her out. She waited the whole time to see Prince. Big fan. She took that picture after 3 songs. They kicked her out. She was furious. And then he died like 2 months later.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Well,
So
he was a petite little man.
Yes.
He was very small.
Yeah.
But I mean, but mighty, you know, like
yeah.
he's such talent just into that
Yeah.
little package. He was just like everything he did was phenomenal.
It's a great first pick. It's a great
Yeah,
pick. Good
yeah,
job.
that was definitely. And I really haven't seen that many. I saw James Taylor. He would be an honorable mention. The Doobie Brothers. I saw it. I was glad I saw it. It was more with the
Yeah.
people I was with
Yeah.
than anything. But my pro tip, I went and saw Kansas and Styx in concert in Omaha. My pro tip is do not smoke when they tell you not to smoke.
Oh, what happened?
And don't go with someone that's going to try and pee in the seat.
Those are probably two good pro tips there. Gosh.
Any tips I have.
Okay.
I'm not even going to say who I was with.
Well, there's a lot of people who have glaucoma when you go to a concert, I noticed, because all of a sudden,
Oh, yes.
the wafting of marijuana just permeates the concert.
Yeah. Some concerts, it could be glaucoma. You just never know.
I would see Styx. I would see Styx. I would see Journey. I would see Foreigner, but I want to see the original lead singers, right? I want to see Dennis DeYoung for Styx. But they're still touring today, right? Styx and Journey and Foreigner, and their lead singers are not the same lead singers. I saw Chicago with a whole new lead singer, but they were amazing. They were amazing.
Yeah, I have a really good friend that goes to see Chicago anytime. And yeah,
Really good.
They've got other great songs, tons of songs.
A lot more than you think.
Yeah,
you know every song.
Yeah. And that's impressive how you know all those names. I don't know. I'm just like, I know the group name, and that's what I'm there for. That's why mine are Prince, Janet Jackson. I'm there for the one person.
Mine are bands, yours are people. That's funny.
Yeah. Gwen Stefani, James Taylor. Yeah. Okay. So we are going to do our top 5 songs that we hate. And the rule that I'm going to make that you didn't know I was going to make, one of these songs you have to sing not the song, like the whole song, but at least a clip of it.
Okay.
One of them.
It's not going to be this one. It's not going to be number 5.
Okay. Let's hear it.
And I'm sorry to all the people who listen in South Beach, Florida, but my number 5 worst song is Conga by Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine.
Gloria Estefan's great.
And you know that one. Come on, with your baby want to do the conga. No, you can't.
I like it.
Oh, wait. I was going to tell you my number 1 song is 1877 Cars for Kids. Okay. Does that count?
What? No.
That commercial? Do you know that commercial?
No.
You ever heard that commercial?
No.
Oh, there's a commercial with little kids. It's just a theme song on a commercial to donate your car. But it is the most annoying jingle ever in the history of songs. But anyway, Gloria Estefan, Miami Sound Machine, Conga, sorry, South Beach, Miami. That's my number 5.
Well, you don't have to like it. There's enough people that like it. Okay, mine, speaking of Bob Dylan, I've never been a Bob Dylan fan. I know he's like kind of got a thing going right now because they've got a special about him and stuff.
Timothy Chalamet's movie about him, right?
Yes. So I looked up because I just generally don't like his music, but I thought I've got to at least have a song. So my song is Lay Lady Lay. You know what that one is? Lay Lady Lay. Come and lay in my big brass bed. Whatever it is. I don't even know what it's about. I just don't like Bob Dylan. I'm sorry, Bob. I just that.
I mean, my God. Yeah. You don't know the lyrics. I don't know any of the lyrics of Bob Dylan songs.
He never enunciated anything. Lay, lady, lay. But anyway, that's my number 5.
Good one.
Okay, number 4.
Ready for the hate mail? Okay. Okay, so I want to say some songs are horrible because they're just horrible songs. Some songs we don't like because we heard them a gazillion times and it got beaten into our brain so much that you just hate them.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, mine, number 4 is Fast Car by Tracy Chapman.
Oh, wow.
Send the hate mail to Dawnversations at...
I like the song.
Although, and just when I thought it was out of the sphere, I never...
came back.
Luke Combs comes out with a remake of it last year. And then on the Grammys, they sang it together. And I've got to hear that song all over again.
And it is a good song. It just was overplayed.
It was. And that's the problem, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that happens with any good song.
Yeah.
And again, back in the day, you'd have to have your tape thing all ready to go so that when they played it on the radio, you would hit record so you could listen to it. You'd be like, please, DJ, don't talk over the song at the end or the beginning. So I've got the full song.
Yeah. You don't have Casey Kasem going in, you know. And this band, this goes out to Dawn, who loves her boyfriend, Stuart from Kansas City. You remember that? America's Top 40?
Yes.
America's Top 40. Oh,
they still replay those.
And the tape recorder. I was there with the tape recorder. Oh, God.
Okay. Talk about hate mail. I do not like the band Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh, no.
Anything by them. So I just am doing Bad Moon Rising.
Oh, no.
Yes. Terrible. God. Anytime I hear them, my whole family gives me crap because I'm like, turn it on. Yeah. And that's not even the ones I'm going to get hate for, but that's one of them. Yeah.
Wow. I really love Creedence Clearwater Revival. And what's funny, they're from the Bay Area. My mom had an opportunity because she used to work where John Fogerty went to high school. So my mom was going to meet him, and I had a Creedence Clearwater Revival album. So I said, Mom, can you get him to sign my album? She said, sure. So she takes my album to John Fogerty and says, do you mind signing it? And it's a bootleg album. Like John Fogerty made no money off of it. And he was semi-pissed and refused to sign it. Yeah.
Oh.
So my mom forgave me, but John Fogerty, you owe me a signed album because, you know, I was just a fan. Isn't that funny? I do love Creedence. It's funny you don't, but I get it.
Yeah, I just don't.
Oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again. Okay. This one is just an overplay, so I just can't stand it anymore. But it's Bobby McFerrin, Don't Worry, Be Happy.
My mom said that too. I was like, what do you hate it when
another
people
reason
are
why I
happy?
love Dawn's mom.
Yeah. There you go, Mom. No, that's true. It is overplayed. But it's catchy. Here's
I know it is.
Song I wrote.
For the next few, this is when I'd hit a button on a radio in the car, right? I would immediately not let that song finish. I don't want to hear it, right?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah. It was overplayed.
Yeah.
And that's just a shame because it's not really their fault. And they got money every time.
They got a lot of money. Yeah.
Okay. This is gonna you're gonna hate me for saying this one. REM. I don't like REM.
Oh, how can you not like REM?
Losing my religion. He sounds like a goat. He sounds like, that's me in the corner.
That's me in the stop light. I like that song.
No.
It was overplayed.
Everybody Hurts is also terrible.
Yeah.
But I had to pick, so I just did Losing.
Every 3 minutes on MTV, you would hear that song.
Yes.
Over and over.
Yes.
REM had a huge, when they went big, you're right, they were overplayed. I really liked them.
It wasn't bad. It was overplayed one time. It was too much for me.
Dawn, is it hate mail if you send me hate mail and I send you hate mail? Because it's already really insulted me with these last two. Okay.
All right.
This one is weird. This is number 2. It makes no sense. People won't probably even know the song. But for some reason, it just annoys me to no end. When I was young, I had the soundtrack to Grease, Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta, right?
Yes.
All 50s song, everything's upbeat.
Yes.
Love the movie. But Stalker Channing singing, there are worse things I could do. There are worse things I could do.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's the problem is it tells the story, but it doesn't fit musically with the entire rest.
Yeah,
of
it's all very upbeat until you get
album,
to her.
you know?
Yeah,
And
she's carrying the books, walking down the school. I've seen Grease like a million times.
I love Grease. I was Kaniki in our high school play. I had to do Grease Lightning. I had to sing Grease Lightning and do the whole thing.
Go Grease Nut. Yeah.
Oh,
I love that movie. That was such a good movie.
Such a good movie.
Okay, my number 2 is Coming to America by Neil Diamond. Now that is just overplayed.
Yeah.
That was an overplayed one. I'm sure it was great the first 10 times, but after that, no. I hated that song
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, just cheesy.
Yeah. What's funny is you could do the hate mail to both of us because Sweet Caroline almost got on my list. And I
Overplay.
know everybody loves that song, but it's kind of every wedding, everything. And it used to just be Sweet Caroline, and now everybody does the so good, so
Yeah.
good. They add in the word,
Yes.
which it wasn't like that the first 20 years of that song.
Right,
It's
right.
the last 15 years when people have made up the supplemental, chiming in. So to speak.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Margaritaville.
Oh God, there's a lot of Jimmy Buffett fans. Stop.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready for number 1?
Yes.
Yeah, this is easy. I actually Googled least favorite songs, and what's funny is this is in the top of many, many, many people's lists, unbeknownst to me, because this is also my least favorite song. Growing up in the Bay Area, this band is from the Bay Area. They are Grace Slick, Jefferson Starship, Jefferson Airplane, and they sing "We Built This City," which is the shittiest song ever made.
We have the same one.
No.
Yes. Yes.
You do?
Starship.
Ah.
We built this city. Like, who thought of that? That was the dumbest song ever.
And it's
Ever.
super popular, right? I mean,
Well,
like
I
everybody
don't know.
knows it.
Everybody knows
that song.
it, but they also might hate it.
I can't hit the button on the radio fast enough.
That's
for that thing to
hilarious.
go
We had
on.
the same first one.
Oh gosh.
I went
Yeah.
through a list today just to see out of curiosity, and Red Wine was another one that people.
Yeah,
but
people
that was
think
an
that was
overplay.
overplayed.
Yeah.
That reminds me of being in my late teens. I love that song, right?
Yeah.
And it was an overplayed song.
Yeah.
But so is "Hey Mickey, you're so fine, you're so fine, you
Yes.
blow my mind." Hey Mickey,
Yeah.
or "Come on Eileen," or "Africa." There's a whole bunch that people don't like that I like. But
it just got played too much. But that is hilarious.
fantastic.
We
That's
both
great.
did the same.
That shows you how horrible that song is, Dawn. The fact that that's both our number ones.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Of all the songs.
And when you
Especially
go to
when we disagreed so much.
when you go to a baseball game or a football game or anything in the Bay Area, they play that song because it's the city, right? It's San Francisco. So the Warriors play it, the Niners play it, the Giants play it. And so you're watching this game and you're like, there's that song again. They're playing it because it's a San Francisco song.
And it was Jefferson Starship, right?
Yeah.
So, but when did they change it to just Starship?
They were Airplane in the 70s. They were Jefferson Airplane.
Okay.
And then they rebranded themselves to Jefferson Starship. And then they did, right? And now it's just Starship, right?
Yeah.
It's Grace
Starship
Slick.
is what they said it was under, because I was like, who even sings
They did
that?
White Rabbit too, that song White Rabbit. She did
Oh,
in the 60s,
right.
which is a phenomenal song, right? It's Alice and the White,
Yeah.
But this one, ugh.
There was another one. You're beautiful, it's true. I hate that song. That was another one that was almost on my list.
Yeah. It is funny. There's more than you know, right? I mean, if you really think
Right.
about it.
And like, I have never delved into country music. It's just not my genre. I just don't put it on. But even then, I didn't have any country songs that I just couldn't.
No.
And that's Achy Breaky Heart included. Like,
yeah.
there's just so many that I just really, I know not liking REM is a big deal.
Wow, that is, gosh.
It's a hill I'm
God.
willing to die
And
on.
Credence, my God.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry.
You're going to musical hell for saying that. How dare you?
Well, that was super fun. I am
that
shocked
was
still that we had the number one the same. I am
Oh,
shocked about that, but that's true. It just shows how bad of a song it is. And
mean,
if you have input of any song, send it to us. I'd love to know your input, whether it's something that I said or Anthony said that you disagree with, or who would you pick? And what was your favorite concert? I want to know.
Yeah. It'll
It's
be interesting to see.
There's there's music for everyone out there.
There is.
So, there's probably music that I don't even know exists out there that people love. I just get and do my liked songs on Spotify. Just listen.
Yeah, I don't like jazz. And we've talked about this with music, but when we were little, we would listen to whatever was played. And now you can go your whole life and not hear a jazz song, right? Or rap or country, because you just can modify your choices. But for those of you that are older than 35, you had no choices early on. You just listened to so you'd get Glenn Campbell, John Denver, then you'd get some disco, and then you'd get some rock, and you listen to it all, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It was total variety for sure. Yeah. All the albums. And that was the only way to listen to it too. Album, hearing that was what made it seem so pure and perfect. But this was fun. I liked this one. I'm anxious to air this one. I think it'll be.
We're gonna play. I can see Dawn editing now. We built this city as our fading out music.
God no, we want people to actually listen to the show. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Till next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Keep listening to music.
Yes.